Welcome to our second annual exhibit to honor the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Clayoquot Biosphere Trust, in partnership with the Ucluelet Secondary School and the Legacy of Hope, worked hard with 8 classes and about 150 students to put together this amazing learning opportunity. We had a 3-avenue approach, truth, honor, and reconciliation. So we had our History 12 and BC First Peoples 12 class work on truth.
My students, they conducted research on food availability within specific residential schools. You get into education because you want to see the best out of your community. This information, this history has impacted all of our students throughout their entire education, throughout their entire lives. And because of that, students are always going to be more engaged.
For our honoring part of the exhibit, we had our Art 9 class with Miss McQuinney and our guest artist, Marika Swan, teach the youth how to design and screen print their own orange shirts with personal meaning. Then we had our English 10 class with Miss Woods, hear personal stories from survivors in class, and they created poetry based on those experiences.
Once the students heard the survivors' stories and we were so impacted by them and so moved, we knew we wanted to try to write our own poetry to try to express those emotions, those really, really challenging topics. I think 4 days the students had, either they were at Tinwis or they were here in class with the survivors coming to speak to us, and I think there was some really shocking and moving stories. On the one hand, we feel super honored that we were able to tell those stories, and we wanted to honor the survivors as well by showing that we were listening. We were listening. We did our best to show that in the poetry. It's, I think, a really good way to express emotion is through poetry. So we were honored, as well as hopefully we honored the survivors.
Then we had our Literary 11 class. They worked with Mr. Anderson and they learned about reconciliation and the 94 calls to action.
So the process started with listening to survivors and knowledge holders to gain some context about what we're studying and why. And then the BC curriculum mandates that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada be studied and acknowledged. So that made it easy to have a clear direction based on a curricular outcome. So each student just chose a call based on a topic that resonates with them. And then the students kind of focused on the progress, are these calls being implemented? Have they started? Have they been completed? What did that look like?
And then we had our Legacy of Hope exhibit, which speaks to the 2008 Canadian government apology. And all that combined is our learning opportunity for both students as well as the community for National Day for Truth and Reconciliation.
The people who went to residential schools are still alive to this day, and they haven't been acknowledged, but recently their stories have been being told, and that probably feels really good for them. It's not new to me, but it's nice to see that it's getting spread and that people are being more aware.
I believe youth are a powerful way to lead reconciliation. If we could foster and grow the next generation of youth to be more empathetic and understanding community members, then they will be able to understand maybe the trauma that was inflicted upon some of our communities.
This is my second year of doing this exhibit. This year my role was writing poems. Spending time with the elders reminded me of what my grandfather went through when he went through residential school. I think it's important because without knowing the past, we are doomed to repeat it. If we don't learn from what the people have gone through from the past, who's to say that in the future we will not do the exact same over and over again? Growing up, that was a big part of what my grandfather told us.